Hey everybody, doing a quick video here. I hope you all watch it. Hang in there with this. It's got a lot I've got to say here. This is the fish tank I got at my house. I put this thing together. It's been here about 20 years, believe it or not. And this backdrop I did probably about 15 years ago. And it's a cat in the fish tank, and he caught a fish. And on top of that stove that's in the fish tank, it says Cat Kitchen, and you can cook fish on that. There's one baking in the oven right now. And over here we got a cat that ate himself a fish. In the background, I took and cut pictures out of, cat food bags and ads in newspapers and stuff like that, and made this like thing for the back. That cat sitting there in the picture frame, that was one of our cats named Pillsbury, aka Fatso. He was like the coolest cat maybe we ever had. He had like a super duper personality. And I did it up. He's got the Christmas tree socks hanging, and the tank ain't lit up, as one of the bulbs is out. And over here is Papa, and he's the head cook. He got a mouse hanging there in his pocket too that's going to help him out. And the reason I'm showing you this fish tank, there's a reason for it. Now hang in there, because we're going to pause this and I'm going to show you part 2 of this little program I got here.
Observe ye everything that
the Book of Enoch. Now check this out.
Do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heaven, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it from first to last, how steadfast they are, how none of the things upon the earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water and clouds and dew, and rain lie upon it. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they had withered and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years, till the new comes. And again, observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth, over against it, and you seek shade and shelter by reason of the heat of the sun. And the earth also burns with glowing heat, and so you cannot tread on the earth, or on a rock, by reason of its heat. Observe ye how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Wherefore give ye heed, and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that liveth forever hath made them so. And all his works go on thus from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks change not, but according as God hath ordained, so it is done. And behold how the sea and the rivers in like manner accomplish and change not their tasks from his commandments. But ye have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of the Lord. But ye have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. O ye hard-hearted, ye shall find no peace. Therefore shall you execrate your days, and the years of your life shall perish. And the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal execration, and ye shall find no mercy. In those days ye shall make your names an eternal execration unto all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse, and all the sinners and godless shall imprecate by you. And for you, the godless, there shall be a curse, and all the
point I'm getting at, and I'm not finished, is you saw those fish in the fish tank, and fish do what fish are supposed to do, and the birds do what they're supposed to do. Everything God created follows its proper order, and the planets follow their proper order, and the wind and the rain and everything. Just mankind rebels. And this book of Enoch may be kind of my favorite book in the Bible, even though you don't find it in the Bible, but it used to be in the Bible, and that's easily proven because it's the book of Enoch. Enoch's mentioned, right there in the New Testament. I believe it's, I can't remember, Timothy maybe. But he's mentioned, I think, actually a couple times in the New Testament. Everybody knew the book of Enoch in the old, back during Jesus' time on earth. Now, he says, if you really listen to this again and listen to what it says, and the book of Enoch is one of the oldest books in the Bible. Nobody's going to argue that except, people that just like to argue for the sake of arguing. And you don't listen to them. You don't waste your time with people that just argue because they just like to start shit. But what I'm getting at here is this book was probably written maybe 3,000 years ago. And he says, if you go through what he just said, nothing changes. It does change when man gets in there and screws things up, but nothing changes. Now I want to show you something here that's really cool. It's the herring run, 2018. This is this week. This week, the herring are running, and they're swimming upstream like they've been doing for thousands of years. And when I was a little kid, 60 years ago and more, I remember going here when I was 4 years old, which would make that 62 years ago. And it hasn't changed in 62 years, except there was a period in time where the herring didn't run because they had been deviated on their course. And they almost died out until people got in there and started fighting about it. And they swim upstream. If you look, you can see them. They jump up there. They make it just like the salmon runs. And I ain't kidding you. When I was 3, 4 years old, my dad would take me here, and they didn't keep you away at that time. And all people would be down there, and you'd be grabbing your hand, and you could grab them fish, and then you didn't keep them. You just grabbed one, and you throw it back in, and grab them and throw it back in. When you're 4 years old, it is a thrill and a half to hear that noise and see all them fish and be able to grab fish as easy as pie. And it's getting ready to change, and let me pause this. These are some Vietnamese people that came there to see the heron. Look at all them fish. Look at them all. Don't ever forget this. God's in charge. Everything you see going on out here that sucks, Jackson Square, Weymouth, I've been arrested there more than once. The Weymouth police station's right, oh, you could almost throw a rock from this place and hit the Weymouth police station. I ain't bragging about it. I was an asshole, okay? But when I was little, you could be down there. You could be down there. Now they don't let you down there. But like I was saying, God's in charge. Trust me. God's in charge. Look at this. Nothing's changed for thousands of years. Just man screws this planet up. And what can you say? It's sad that we're just ignorant the way we are. But when you get worried about things, just remember, stay close to God. God's got you. I know He does. Because of all the miracles that have happened in my life, even though I've been, always making a mess of things and getting drunk and being dumb and doing really, I've done some pretty bad things. But every time I was truly sorry afterwards. And, there's a lot of people out there that are Christians that might not look and act and sound and talk like Christians, but a real good Christian is a person that knows they're a sinner. And remember that video I showed you called American Royalty and the Queen Empress Zeta, and she couldn't go through the gates till she said, "It's just a sinner here." Forget all the titles. Forget who you are. Just remember what you are. You're a person that God owns, and God can do with you what He wants, and God does do with you what He wants. And if He don't want you because you don't want Him, then the devil got you. And if the devil got you, you might be living high and mighty, but in the end, oh brother, you owe your soul to Him. I know I'm talking maybe a little crazy, but I've been thinking about this since last night because I seen the heron run here, and I thought, oh wow, this is happening right now. They might have it might be about slowing down, but it don't end for thousands of years, folks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching.